Hello, my name is Alexandra Espinosa, and I'm a team with Cristina, Selene, Laura, and Arturo. We choose to expose Farmacias Benavides because we think it's a big chain of pharmacies, and I'm gonna tell you about the company, some antecedents. Farmacias Benavides is a Mexico-based company primarily engaged in pharmaceutical and chemical industry. The company operates a network of over 700 drugstores located nationwide under the Farmacias Benavides name. Farmacias Benavides is a market leader in retail sales of health and wellness products with 104 years of experience, presence in 200 cities in 24 states in Mexico, a network of more than 1,100 pharmacies along the Mexico country, 450 consulting medical rooms, and high-tech distribution center. The chain is operated by more than 8,000 collaborators, offering a catalog of more than 60,000 different products of commercial and own brands focused on helping the health and wellness of its customers. Next slide, please. Well, some of the pharmaceutical market analysis in Mexico. Nowadays, there exist like 52,000 pharmacies in Mexico. Farmacias Benavides have the 3.43% of those quantity of drugstores of the total. If there is an industry that has shown exponential growth over the last few years, it is pharmaceutical, specifically establishments that are dedicated to the sale of medicines that have become one of most profitable businesses in Mexico. The clearest example can be seen in the constant opening of establishments throughout the national territory. In addition, about half offer generic and low-cost medicines and have consulting medical rooms. Regarding to above phenomenon, there are several reasons. The main ones are the lowest prices of the generic medicines, and they offer compared to patent medicines. These types of establishments are increasingly visited by patients, because they offer immediately attention. It has been detected that the clinics attached to the pharmacies already offer more consultations than the Mexican Institute of Social Security, the IMSS. Well, the next slide, please. Well, this is about some numbers, no? But Estado de Mexico is the entity with the most pharmacies in the country, with 8,686 pharmacies, and 33 of them are Farmacias Benavides. In second place is Mexico City with 6,968 pharmacies, and 29 of them are Farmacias Benavides, followed by Jalisco with 4,368 pharmacies, and 119 are Farmacias Benavides. The thing that we are seeing in here, we are noticing in here, is not specifically the more concentrated in Mexico of number in pharmacies are the same number of pharmacies, Farmacias Guadalajara, because remember, and we are gonna see the history with my colleague Laura, that is a chain that started in Monterrey, and they started their expand in the north of the country. So that's the reason not necessary is the same number or the same percentage Farmacias Guadalajara that the pharmacies in the country. On the other hand, when it comes the potential spending, that is when the population is willing to buy medical supplies, the entities that top in the list is, again, Estado de México, then Mexico City, then Jalisco, Nuevo León, and the three less states that spend in medicine are Baja California and Colima. And it is a short resume of how is the market and how is Farmacias Benavides regarding to the market. So next, please, and is the time for my colleague, Laura.
Thank you so much. So now we will start with the performance review. And this is related to the story about the company. So can you please change the slide? Okay, so the history of Benavides takes back to 1917 when Don Felipe de Jesús acquired the already existing Botica del Carmen in Monterrey, an establishment dedicated mainly to the production of medicines. So the first and the second branch were installed in 1943 in Monterrey in Mexico. So in addition to this decade, Benavides expanded its coverage with the opening of branches in different cities in the region. In the 60s, Benavides decided to consolidate strongly in Monterrey and acquire Boticas, which is another pharmaceutical company. Now, in 1988, the company had 168 branches in operation. During this and the following year, Benavides acquired 2 drugstore chains in the central and eastern Mexico. By the end of 1989, Benavides had 206 branches. Now, in 1991, an aggressive expansion plan was launched, which included a 20% increase in the number of branches each year. During this period, Benavides added more than 200 branches and 20 more new stores in different cities to its coverage. Next, please. Now, in 1995, Benavides temporarily interrupted its expansion plan as it decided to focus its effort on overhauling its internal operations and implement a series of measures to make the company more efficient and to prepare a solid platform upon which to take advantage of future economic growth. During this year, 12 stores were located in several locations and 2 stores were opened, ending the year with 449 branches. In 1986, that was a year of expansion and consolidation for Farmacias Benavides. So by the end of the year, the company had 522 points of sales. In order to face the competition in this sector, beginning in the fourth quarter of 1996, they decided to intensify the promotional campaigns in both the pharmacy departments and in other leading categories. In January 1997, 50% of the capital of Droguería and Farmacia El Fénix was acquired. At this moment, they had 568 branches strategically distributed in 113 cities in 17 Mexican states. In September 1998, a distribution alliance was signed with Otri, which Benavides helps to focus on customer and service, and they decided to close its own distribution centers. Next, please. Now, by the year 2000, Benavides has already 662 branches, 31 photographic stores, and 7 cafeterias. In August of this year, Benavides finally enters in Mexico City. In 2002, Farmacias Benavides was revitalized, becoming a world-class company when it became part of Farmacias Ahumada, which also it has the it is called also FASA, a company formed 34 years ago in Santiago, Chile, and one of the top 10 companies in Latin America. By 2005, all the pharmacies were under the new Farmacias Ahumada image after the merge with FASA. In 2009, it was the inauguration of the Logistics Efficiency Center with GNAP technology that was never before installed at this level in Latin America. In 2010, Grupo Casa Saba acquires and merged with FASA. And this group is a leader in the distribution of pharmaceuticals, health, beauty, consumer, and general merchandising and publications in Mexico. And this results in the most important pharmaceutical chain in the country. And finally, in 2014, Walgreens Boots Alliance, the international leader in the pharmaceutical and beauty sector, acquires Grupo FASA with a presence in more than 27 countries and more than 406,000 pharmacies in operation. So, as you can see, the company has a lot of history and they are been growing bit by bit, but they are being really successful during over the years. Thank you.
Okay, now to identify the key issues, our approach was to know the customer needs, the competitors, and also how Farmacias Benavides is interacting with both of them. Next one, please. So for that, we find out a market research report, this one, the Retailer's Preference Index, in which the customer preference are divided into 5 pillars: variety and quality, experience in stores and convenience, generic products and prices, customer relationship management, and products availability. So from them, the most important one is the variety and quality for customer side, and also the one with low importance is the product availability. Next one, please. So with that, the report presents top 3 rankings for each pillar. As you can see, in almost any of them, Farmacia Benavides is showing up, but just for experience and product availability, customer relationship management. But for any of them, they are leading the rankings. So with that, we could find the key issues. Next one, please. Okay, so about the key issues. With that, we could identify the weaknesses and the threats, but also we decided to proceed with the full SWOT analysis so that we also identify the strengths and opportunities. Talking about the strengths, we find the digital focus, the multiple alliances that they have currently, and also the experience in stores. About weaknesses, they are related to products, for example, the availability, variety, and also the generic products and fair prices. About threats, we have factors that currently are impacting the full country, the COVID and the crisis that came after that. And about the opportunities, we have the price optimization and the market share growth. Next one, please. Okay, about the objectives. First one, we have the corporate ones. So for them, we have three main objectives. First thing is to grow the participation in the Mexican market. The objective is to try to cover all the country. The next one is the intensification of publicity and promotion of the current products, including the own generic brands. And now we have the next one, which is diversification of the presence to other markets, including in the stores, other products like food, beverages, magazine, etc. This will be explained in detail in the next sections. Now we have the marketing strategy. Next one, please. Okay, so the scope, mission, and intent of the marketing plan is to give continuity to the current corporate strategy, which is basically to consolidate and strengthen Farmacia Benavides' position in the national market by providing products with comprehensive wellness and health solutions. This is by who? Basically, trying to resolve the issues and also to exploit the strengths and opportunities. Next one, please. Okay, so now we have the objectives of the marketing plan. So first of all, we have the product, which is basically diversificate the current line by selling new products in the stores, as already mentioned. About the place is to penetrate the market by opening new pharmacies and medical centers in the Mexican market. About the promotion is to intensify the publicity and promotion by using the current digital channels and also the mass advertising. And about the price, we have the optimization of the price by leveraging the own brands. Next one, please. And now talking about the source of competitive advantages. We have 4 factors. About the alliances, as we mentioned, they are part of an international company, Walgreens Boots. So this is really important to have more experience with the international markets. Also, Farmacia Benavides is trying to improve the supply chain. For example, currently they have the Logistic Efficiency Center. Another competitive advantage is their products. They have own generic brands. But the most important is the human resources. They have employees who are really well-trained. Farmacia Benavides is trying to train them in a continuous basis, and also they have benefits plans and one manager development program, which is basically to cover all the levels in the company. Next one, please. So now the next topic is for Arturo. Over to you.
Thank you, Selene. Okay, so now for the development strategy. We know that Farmacias Benavides belongs to Walgreens Boots Alliance, which is an integrated healthcare, pharmacy, and retail leader that serves millions of customers. So Farmacias Benavides is aiming to grow across Mexico. They have presence in 200 cities, and they have 1,100 pharmacies, 450 doctors' offices, and their main offices are located in Monterrey, Nuevo León. So the strategy that we propose is for them to be present in all 32 states. And we know that Farmacias Benavides has taken 104 years of existence to be available in 24 states. So if we follow this statistical trend, we will see that the company will approximately take 34 more years to be able to be present in all 30 states of Mexico. And this is called geographical expansion, which means to establish new branch offices or pharmacies. And we also want to suggest that the company increases the products that they sell. So currently, Farmacias Benavides sells medicines, pharmaceutical products, products related to sexual health, products for babies, beauty products, personal care products, and some foods in packaging and household products. So we propose that Farmacias Benavides sells some other products, like for example, the Mexican company Oxxo does. So Oxxo does not only sell food, but they also sell magazines, cell phones, toys. And Farmacias Benavides could imitate this strategy and start selling these products in order to gain more clients. For resource allocation, we did a little bit of a financial analysis on the company, and we saw that the company's net profit margin is 0.07%. So with this, we can infer that for the moment, all the profit money earned will go to the shareholders and not to future investments, because they are only staying with very few amount of the whole income that they actually had in a year. These ratios are for the year 2021. And for cash, the cash ratio is 12.8%, which was calculated by dividing the cash divided by current liabilities. So theoretically speaking, they can't use much cash for investments. So we recommend that they would need to accumulate more cash before they can decide what to do with it. Here you can see a graph, which basically tells us their net property and equipment over the last 5 years, from 2017 to 2021. And we can see that it has remained mostly stable with a slight decrease from 2018 to 2020. And we can see that they haven't invested a lot of money in net property and equipment over the last 5 years. So this means that they haven't been able to expand or grow with their fixed assets. In terms of cash flows, we can see that they made a lot of cash during the year 2021. But you can see in this graph that most of their cash they used for financement activities. And these financement activities include basically paying back to bank loans and other types of suppliers that they had during that year. So most of their cash, instead of investing it in new assets or in expansion, they basically just used it to pay off their debts. And their net cash obtained in 2021 was very little compared to the cash that they made from operating activities. So also we can see that the products for babies and personal care seem to be the ones that the company sells the most. So we could infer that the company gets most of their cash from the sales of these products. And Farmacias Benavides also has brands that sell premium quality medicines that can be generic medicines or even brand patent medicines and products. And some examples of these brands are Almus, Boots, Soap and Glory, Number 7, and Well Beginnings. And also, Farmacias Benavides has their own personal brand, which is called Farmacias Benavides, and they develop and market and sell their own products. Here we can see the net profit earned in 2021 versus their net cash obtained, and we can see that basically they made a lot of cash, but their net profit was very small compared to the cash that they obtained. So this backs up our statement that they are using a lot of cash to pay off their debts. And we can see that Farmacias Benavides with the Boston Consultant Matrix is a star. We can classify it as a star because the company excels at selling their generic products of their own and also some products from the other companies which they are partnered with by belonging to Walgreens Boots Alliance. We could infer that by being a star, their market share is high and also they are having a high growth, but they need to keep up with this growth in order to remain being a star. So to conclude this part of the presentation of resource allocation, we could say that Farmacias Benavides needs to generate more cash and then use that cash to invest in new property and equipment. And then they can allocate the resources in these or similar areas of the company in order to accomplish the goal of geographical expansion. When it comes to sources of synergy, we basically say that their best source of synergy is knowledge, because they belong to Walgreens Boots Alliance, and by this, they have access to information and knowledge about the healthcare industry. They also can share some customer-related intangibles like brand recognition and reputation, and this way they can attract the attention of customers by selling products from other recognizable brands. And Farmacias Benavides is more of a retailer than a manufacturer, although they develop their own products of the brand Farmacias Benavides. Most of the products that they sell in their pharmacies and stores are products from other brands. So basically, they're a retailer, and the best source of synergy that we could suggest that they could use is knowledge, shared knowledge. So some action plans that we could that the company could take in order to develop a better marketing strategy. First of all, to intensify publicity and promotion through their website, online store, social media, and also their physical and digital loyalty program card called Benavides Conmigo. They could also start to use new digital tools like famous TikTok, and even develop an app in order to integrate their online store and loyalty program. Also find a balance between quality and price, so establish new prices if possible. And also basically strive to improve the variety of products that they have or that they sell in order to attract more customers. The company's ultimate goal is to be the leading partner in reinvented local healthcare and wellness for all. That's what they say in their official website. So in order to accomplish this goal, they would need to improve their market share by taking these actions, as well as investing their money and allocating the resources to open new stores or new pharmacies in new Mexican states and cities, as to increase the customer experience and preference in more places, leading to better health and wellness for many people that live in Mexico. And for all of these action plans that we have suggested, we recommend that all these actions should be taken considering a 10-year deadline. And when it comes to expanding across all 32 states of Mexico, we know that this will take more than 10 years, but a 10-year deadline is a good way to measure the rest of the company's objectives and action plans. And now I leave you with Laura again.
Okay, so now we will talk about the projected profit and loss statement. Next, please. So in this slide, we can see that actually in the first quarter, the company started really good, because for the income, they have $3,920 million of dollars in this quarter, which represents the 11.2% of their sales. And now they have opened a total of 1,124 stores. And this because in the last quarter, they opened new 5 stores. The next, please. So here in this slide, we have the financial information. We have 3 years to compare. And as you can see, well, the company has been changing during all these years. In some points, they change in a good way, and some others, they're not. But for example, for the income part, we can see that the company increased almost 8 million pesos, which is really good from 2019 to 2021. The same happened with the gross profit, which also we can see that it was increased year by year. And we can see also that the net profit, it was, let's say, like in negative numbers during the 2019 and 2020. But now they are recovering these profits, and now they are selling a little bit more. And even though the company experienced a little bit of losses of different stores during all this pandemic time, now they are recovering and they are opening new stores. But what is really interesting in this part is that the stockholders' equity is not growing. Actually, it's in negative. It's in a negative position. But as far as we can see in these 3 years, we can observe that for the next year, the company can still grow, which can convert this stockholders' equity into a positive numbers. So, yeah, the future of this company in terms of financial things, it seems very prominent. So I will lead my colleague to explain the next topic.
So we know that a thing that we can size, that this is something that we can improve. So basic in that, we need some system to control the growth or Benavides, Farmacias Benavides. So we're going to share some of the ways that we can control the action plan, the marketing action plan that we recommend to Farmacias Benavides. So in in the topic of advertisement and promotion, the control system that we will apply to this plan action is based on using technology. Technology is our best match to get information about it. The app will bring us metrics that we can know how the people are using our app, our online, our website. So we can know if people are buying the new product that we're going to implement in our establishments, or if they are not. So, yes, please, next one. So, in terms of app and home delivery, we're going to work with metrics that the app will bring us, and we're going to know what was the product that the people ask more to get into their homes. Please, next one. And in the matter of incorporating new products, we're going to get the information about sales systems. I think that the technology will bring us everything that we need to get control of the information and the results of our implementations. So we can also always record to market a study to make surveys, so we can know from the consumers their opinion and the way that they are accepting or they are not are new ways to sell them. Please, next one. And last but not least, we're going to talk about contingency plans. Please, next one. Contingency plans is about the risk that represent this action plan to Farmacias Benavides. I think, and we talk about it, that a good planning of the actions should reduce our risks to the minimum. So we're going to talk about contingency plan in an extreme way to take our risks. Please, next one. From promotion and advertising, the biggest concern that we had is the promotion and these images that we're going to work on cannot be distinguished between competitions. So if that was the case, we're going to recreate all the creative part, and maybe we're going to be more detailing in studying what people think about it, and we can assure that they can distinguish our brand. Please, next one. Yes, we can always appeal to the survey study market, so we can know the point of view of the customers, so they can bring us information, the famous word of mouth. We can know this information from them, so we can know if they like the points of sale or the prices or everything that we are doing it for them. And next one, please. So, it is true that the best contingency plan is to study from the outset the action plan to minimize the risks that Farmacias Benavides faces. As I said before, if we plan, if we work enough in the previous phase, in the previous stage, we can get to the application of these actions really sure, and the risk will be minimum, so we can bring to Farmacias Benavides an sure place to apply the plan market, I think. Next one, please. This is all our references that we look up to this work, and I think that's all from us. Thank you very much, and we see you next time.